I take responsibility.
How generous. That'll be $300 million, please. It's reparations for all the riots. I mean, for all the peaceful arson.
I take responsibility.
Oh, you do? Alrighty then. You're off the hook, pedo glasses lady. Raggedy Ann here is taking the baton. So, mademoiselle, since you're taking responsibility, perhaps we can tear you down instead of all the statues.
I take...
We know what you take, bitch. You look like you're taking it right now.
I take responsibility for every unchecked moment.
Is anyone going to take responsibility for the check marks? The blue ones? Because Jack certainly won't.
Every time I remained silent.
Every time you remained silent. I hope you do a lot of snoring, dude, in your sleep. Or at least you alternate it with the screaming night terrors, which wouldn't surprise me. What if a person of colour tells you to be silent on a particular issue, for instance? I mean, if you can even imagine such a thing ever happening. If a black man tells you to shut up, are you going to go, okay, but I'm taking responsibility for my shutting up? Like, what does that even mean? Because it sounds a lot like, okay, but I'm only shutting up because I want to, not because you told me to. Like, are you really making this much effort to rob black people of their agency at every microscopic avenue? Or are you just being the mewling child you sound like? When you said every time, did you mean only the times when it benefits certain castes of people? Then say what you fucking mean, dickhead. Say what you fucking mean. It's the least you can do. If you're going to do your best Oscar-winning shot at sincerity, if you're going to emotionally Botox your face into the filthiest puppy dog Disney eyes you can do, like you really, really mean what you're saying, the least you can do is say something that can be meant.
Every blatant injustice, no matter how big or small.
Has anyone else noticed what I'm noticing about this video? Where's the representation? Where's the diversity? Shit looks like a white pride parade. This is free publicity for every celebrity involved. And there is no bad publicity, remember? Each and every one of their agents is jumping for joy right now. Cracking open the champagne, going, we're going to get paid this year. Meanwhile, every celebrity of colour is sat on the margins going, I need work too. You think I can't pull a gross-ass po-face and struggle my way through a fake apology? Anyone can do that job, so why not give it to a performing artist of colour? But no! Sorry, darling, we can't use the likes of you. This is about taking responsibility, and you people are not fit for this line of work. If you want a world without racism, try not being racist. That's the first step, guys.
Every not-so-funny joke. Every unfair stereotype.
Okay, I'm going to have to do a small amount of cursory research here. Like, trust me, a seriously small amount.
Honestly, this is where I think black people and white people, this is where I think we're different at.
White people ruin singing groups.
White people, stop looking for ghosts.
White folks have wonderful weekends.
Two white people picking apples, that's romantic. Me, I'm a migrant farm worker. Do you understand that?
Oh, God, I love being white. I really do.
I love white people. Y'all are awesome. Y'all jump off of mountains without parachutes. Y'all take ecstasy.
White women are like, you know? I don't know, you know? It's so annoying.
I opened the door. 400 white people outside my door. I ain't gonna lie, I panicked. I slammed the door and called the police. They protesting.
Let me be clear, by the way. I'm not saying that white people are better. I'm saying that being white is clearly better. Who could even argue?
No one cares about gingers. Like, you could kill a ginger. You know that, you could kill a ginger.
When a black person sees a white person doing something well, first of all, we're caught off guard. We didn't know.
Mountains are like white people's cops. Because they're the only things that kill us indiscriminately.
White family went to Africa on safari and they got chewed up by a pack of lions. I was laughing my motherfucking ass up.
White people, that's why I study y'all, envy y'all. I'm envious of y'all. Y'all are a race. Y'all do whatever the fuck y'all want to do. Y'all know y'all are free.
I saw a white dude getting arrested. Which it turns out is a thing that I love to see.
We hate seeing you dance too and shit. What kind of racist shit is that?
Here's how great it is to be white. I could get in a time machine.
What we have a problem with white people. Like white people who are just like that white. You're not a white guy, you just got a white guy shirt on. That white.
I don't want to go to the future and find out what happens to white people because we're gonna pay hard for this shit. You gotta know that.
It's just fun to make white people feel bad. And
they're gonna hold us down and fuck us in the ass forever. And we totally deserve it.
When you fire white people, they don't ever see it coming.
Just do YouTube and do a video search for comedians white people and behold the first page. That's all I did. Yeah, I wasn't just picking the black ones. It happened to be mostly black ones. But quite honestly, it would take less time to count the comedians who don't do those kinds of jokes. Especially when it comes to American comedians, for some reason. American comedians of all races, by the way. Think of your 5 favorite comedians, and tell me they've never done a bit about how lame and privileged and undeserving of their privilege white people are. Like, at least once. See, while we're cancelling entire TV shows for featuring black characters, and we're simultaneously demanding all our TV shows feature black characters, back and forth, round and round, forever in a vicious cycle of degrading victim fetishization, we can all, nevertheless, continue to celebrate the explicit and excessive death, suffering, and broad stereotyping of white people as the unambiguous punchline of any joke you like. We can be as outwardly spiteful about white people as our imagination can conceive, and no one bats an eyelid. And we can't even pay sincere tribute to black people without being disappeared from history for our racist transgressions. We will continue to deliberately draw this enormous margin of standards between different races and the way we treat different races, way past the point of absurdity in both directions. And we strongly believe this will not sow any racial division. This is the kind of racial caste system that is not racist but is in fact anti-racist. This is the good kind of divisiveness. The kind that we are proudly and undeniably doing right in your face all the time, worse and worse every day, with the suspicious blessing of every nefarious too-big-to-fail corporation and the silver-tongued endorsement of every lying politician that we're all of a sudden trusting not to be lying to us in this one instance. No! Heavens to Cucamonga, no! It's when you say anything so much as inclusively positive about white people or men. That is the bad kind of divisiveness. Well, okay. Here goes. You white people are cunts. Complete and total cunts. There. I just proved that I'm anti-racist. May I please go outside now?
Every time I explained away police brutality or turned a blind eye.
Free Muhammad Nur! Free that man right now!
You are all free and able to look up everything you can about what was being expressed in that clip. And indeed what was going on in the background at the time. And indeed who Mohammed Noor is. And indeed who Justine Ruschik was. Or you could, on quite the other hand, if you do so prefer, my dear, you could choose instead to simply explain it away. Or just turn a blind eye. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Black people are being slaughtered in the streets, killed in their own homes. These are our brothers and sisters.
That's not what they call you. Sorry to break it to you, they very much reserve the terms brothers and sisters for each other. Do you think you're changing that? By firmly planting in the ground yet another yardstick of blacks and whites are different, do you think you're changing any of this for the better?
Our friends, our family. We are done watching them die.
We don't get to watch our friends and families die anymore, you haunted fucking pissbag. We are not even allowed to visit them. We're not allowed to visit our families unless we and our families feel like meeting up in a public place to help tear down statues of white people. Do you know, they think they're taking back the streets. I guarantee you, some of them are going, wow, guys, look, we really are taking back the streets by ourselves. We're literally doing it this time. Okay, look at me. Look at me. You are being given the streets. Okay, the streets have been handed to you on a silver platter like a fucking birthday present. The government itself, the state, okay, is giving you free reign of the streets and banning everyone else. Families of any size are not allowed to cross the streets to visit each other. But gigantic crowds of deluded woke idiots can take to those empty streets and treat them like their own goddamn personal fucking amusement park. Because the state has decreed that that is how it shall be. That state that you supposedly hate so much because it's so fucking racist. This is the nanny state giving you the world. Literally the fucking world. And giving it to you because you're throwing a violent tantrum. While they lock everyone else up in their cages because they're not throwing a violent tantrum. You are being festooned with the kind of pampered privilege that would be over the top for a royal fucking toddler. And you still think you're the underdog. You still think you're being oppressed and marginalized by the people in the fucking cages. And by the people locking us in the cages while they give you the key to every city. How in 13 layers of tropical hell do you sleep at night? Without getting offended and victimized by your own fucking wet dreams.
I will no longer allow an unchecked moment.
What does that actually mean? And I hope you're not complaining right now that I'm stopping you every couple of seconds to check your moment. How long is a moment exactly? Does it depend on who's experiencing it by any chance? Again, you will allow unchecked moments. The unchecked moments you approve of. The ones that benefit certain bloodlines. Say what you fucking mean, please.
I will no longer allow racist, hurtful words, jokes, stereotypes, no matter how big or small, to be uttered in my presence.
Well, given that irksome technicality called the First Amendment, your only available option is to fuck right off and take your presence somewhere else, sir. Oh shit, I said it to a white person, so it's not racist.
I will not turn a blind eye.
Of course you're not. You're wearing huge, great dock-off pedo glasses. Sorry, what? That is a sexual stereotype now? Well, that wee revelation really wiped its feet, didn't it?
Going for a jog should not be a death sentence. Sleeping in your own home should not be a death sentence.
Not being allowed to leave your home should not be a sentence at all if you're fucking innocent. Why aren't you outraged about that? That is the thing the fucking authorities are banning you from doing right now. They're not banning you from being nice to black people. They're banning you from leaving your fucking house, you cunt! What? And fuck off with your two quoque, you broken one-trick hypocrites. If this is about authoritarian overreach, if this is about pervasive patterns of authoritarian overreach, what the fuck are you doing with your life? If this is about not turning a blind eye, then how about you take the plank out of your own eye? Before you try to take the speck out of your neighbour's eye. Sorry, that's the Bible. That's a Bible quote. Is that slavery too? To quote from the Bible. Would you prefer it if I opened a Quran instead? Oh look, another minaret without a lick of graffiti on it, despite all the fucking slavery! Is it at all possible that you don't give a shit about slavery at all, and all you're doing is picking on people who won't fight back? Who can't fight back? Or who have been governmentally banned from fighting back? Yeah, the government is holding us back by the shoulders, and you are sucker punching us in the face unopposed, and you still think you're the victims! How do you live with yourselves? Why do you live with yourselves? Shit, sorry, I'm too cocking again, aren't I? We're talking about slavery, and that's not the slavery we want to talk about. That's just this irrelevant Middle Eastern slavery that's still fucking happening in the world today! Right, I get it. Priorities. It's all about priorities. You're looking for a needle in a haystack right now, and you're doing it by indiscriminately burning down the entire fucking haystack, and that's what's important! Personally, the rest of us would like access to the rest of the hay, because the horses are fucking starving, but never mind. I clearly have nothing of importance to add to this conversation. All I'm doing is pointing out your hypocrisy, or something else completely irrelevant like that. All I'm doing is acknowledging the things that you are adamantly refusing to acknowledge, as you blindly single out whatever untermensch you feel like torturing. When anyone else singles people out based on race, it's fallacious. But when you do it, someone pointing out that you are doing it is fallacious. Heads you win, tails I lose. Fun game, my dude. You are such a big brain centrist. That explains why you're the only human being in the world who isn't racist. No, you're right. You should bully those people and only those people. Slap my naughty bottom for doubting you. I am so the thing to be getting your bitch on about right now. Internet red pillars and anti-SJWs are plainly the most clear and present existential threat to civilization and world peace right now. You know, the ones being shadow banned already. Out of existence. No wonder that's all you can complain about. You effervescent fucking hero of the downtrodden. No, really, carry on. Go, power race war. You are right on fucking top of things, Sparky. Just blown away over here, seriously.
Playing video games with your nephew should not be a death sentence.
I have a nephew. I have a nephew now. This is not a joke, this is true. He was born a month ago. And he has no idea that his family even exists. Because we're not allowed to see him. We're not allowed to hug him, we're not allowed to be in the same room as him, we're not allowed to travel across the fucking country to see him. Unless... We're not allowed to see him unless we bring him to a street festival where we kiss black people's feet. Then the police would leave us alone. If I want to hug my parents or hug my sister, if I want to hold my newborn nephew without attracting police brutality for my crimes, this is what I have to do. Stand in a 1,000-strong crowd of COVID-infested hippies and wash the feet of a high priest of the New Order. Or perhaps, if we let an Asian grooming gang babysit him for a weekend, then the police wouldn't touch us with a DNA-covered barge pole, because of how fucking racist the police are! Just fuck yourself. Please just fuck yourself.
Shopping in a store should not be a death sentence.
Should shooting someone who shot you be a death sentence? If someone steals one of your weapons and shoots you with it, you can't shoot them with your other weapon or else you get death row. Sorry, I'm doing it again, aren't I? I'm too cock-cocking. I'm taking your worldview, the worldview that you have expressed, and I am mistakenly applying it to the world. The actual world thing, not just a thin sliver of the world in which you're exclusively interested. I am missing the point. The infinitesimal singularity of a point that you are stabbing into the map while you deliberately, pathologically ignore the rest of the map. And you call that equality? Or or indeed justice.
Business as usual should not be life-threatening.
Fuck off, mate. We get bomb threats and death threats every other time we try to assemble. Who's we? Yeah, the people who don't hate white men. The people still being imprisoned in their own homes until they agree to hate white men. Sorry, not imprisoned. I mean the people being locked down. Totally different speak.
I stand against hate.
I stand against hate.
I stand against hate.
I stand against hate.
Yes, and that is exactly how you prop it up, you dirty little fucking gutter snipes.
I will stand against hate in love.
The world is not black and white. Yours is, obviously, but that's the point. You are racists.
I will make my presence known.
What do you make your presence? An animal can do that. Any animal can make their presence. Any plant can make... Can we get some humanity up in this bad boy at some point? That thing where we think things through.
And killer cops must be prosecuted. They are murderers.
Agreed. Murderers or manslaughterers, depending on the case. And on a much less important note, making everything about racism when there's no evidence at all that it has anything to do with racism is racist. Fuck off with it, please.
We can turn the tide.
No. Canute? No, we cannot. It's the tide. Fuck you, Canute.
It is time to take
meth. Sorry, son, you went and got yourself typecast. Stereotyped, if you will. White people be taking meth like this for my entire career. I have to say, I don't hate you guys. I pity you. I'm guessing you're only doing this because you feel like you have to, and that's more sad than anything else. I mean, you're scared. Obviously. There's a mob of lunatics at the gates who will stop at nothing to eat the rich white people. And that's clearly you. So no wonder you're on your knees begging for mercy. You'd rather make a public jackass of yourself than risk not appeasing the mob. Because ridicule at any level is at least better than complete destruction. Fair enough. Why wouldn't you be scared? And you can deal with your fear in any way you see fit. But if it involves saying retarded things in public, please know that I too will see fit to deal with the fear I have for you by saying retarded things in public. And I'm not just talking to the celebrities in this video, I'm talking to you. The people supporting these protests. You're doing the same thing as them. How do you not? You're supporting the same protests as them. And acting as though they have no real connection to the violent riots that you kind of agree with anyway. How is it? You recognise how misguided and cynically opportunistic it is when these guys do it, but it magically becomes true and righteous and unavoidable when you do the same thing. Is it because they're all white? And whatever your colour is, you can say whatever you like about white people and it's fine. Well, try not being racist. For like the blink of an eye, see what the world looks like when you're not singling out one race as the worst race. Just try it. For once in your fucking life. And if you're not going to try it, at least drop the "we're not racist" act. You very, very obviously are. You just think your racism doesn't count as racism because of the specific discrimination it makes between the races, which is racism. You're sick. Okay, you can't communicate properly. Go home. Have some chicken soup and some Sprite and wear your fucking mask, please. All right, that's it. So, thanks for coming out, y'all. And thank you. Thank you for your very generous and kind contributions since my last upload. Financially speaking, you've already pulled me away from the circling drain of zero. Now I have to try and stay away from it by working harder, so I'm just going to go back to pumping out predictable response videos. I'm going to do obvious shit that everyone else has already done. Fuck it doesn't even matter. Well, the channel's gonna die anyway, and I'm gonna slip into obscurity anyway, but I'm gonna go down swinging! Even when nobody's watching anymore. That is the brief. I'm sticking to it. Goodbye! I mean that in the short term and in the long term. Good luck to whoever is left over. And for those of you who are still focusing all your negative attention on already shadow banned anti-SJW losers like me, good riddance, seriously. Please don't start pretending you give a shit now or ever. And do not bother crawling back to us when they've torn down your favourite statue or snatched away your children once again. We will only laugh at you and spray blood from our slit wrists all over your pinched, pissy little Karen face, you fucking serfs. Goodbye. And just fuck yourselves. Forever. It's the only way. Word. And by word, I probably mean hate speech. Word to your mother.